Are you ready to laugh? Are you ready to cry? Or did you just come for a turkey on rye? In the middle of a deli there in New York City, it's the In the Aisle podcast. Dan and Jackson in the middle of a New York deli. Here's the In the Aisle podcast.
Sandwiched between Sclafani crushed tomatoes and Dan Lamort wearing a dog collar.
Woof, woof, mother. Oh, there's a baby there.
Say
Can
it.
a baby understand fuck?
It's another episode of In the Aisle podcast with Dan and Jack. I'm Jack.
Hi, Jack. We have matching collars.
Yeah, we look fire. And today we are joined by a guest also wearing a dog collar. Awesome
Woof, woof.
comedian, host of the How Come podcast. It's Remy Kassimir.
Hello.
You don't have spikes on your one, though.
What? I don't have studs.
You have like
I have
little
studs.
bones.
Yeah.
Little bone studs.
Yeah.
No, yours
I'll
looks
kill
like
you.
like if you wore that out, people would be like, "Wow, Remy's really going
Be
for
like
it."
chic.
Yeah.
They'd be confused because
Who
I'm
is
more of a
she?
cat person.
I think people are already
but
confused by the podcast. Now they're looking at us like,
Yeah.
it looks like a BDSM
A
podcast.
BDSM podcast in an aisle.
Yeah, I wonder like
In the aisle about the dungeon.
there's no there's no context either. Like no one knows that there's a bag of collars directly.
Right.
next
I
to me.
didn't. When
There
he
isn't.
put
What do
it
you
on,
mean?
I
We
was just
brought
like,
these
okay, this
ourselves.
is a new look for
It's a
Dan.
moment.
Yeah. I
It
feel
kinda
like I went
works.
through a Hot Topic.
Yeah.
I used to have this, but like, remember they used to make the bracelets of it?
Yes.
The silver-studded bracelet. I wore that after I bought a Good Charlotte album once.
I never bought those bracelets, but I did have those rubber band ones that were like stackable and you couldn't get them off. Do you remember the black licoricey ones?
Oh,
Yeah.
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 That's
What was
awful.
big when I remember the animal rubber bands? Like they were rubber band and, and they
Yes.
also look like an animal.
So cool.
the
Did you
things that I was amused by.
Did you guys ever do like collect like those Live Strong bracelets? Do you remember when that was?
No,
You
I was
didn't-
not a
No.
loser.
Yeah.
That
You
was
were
like
I
a Live Strong
collected
guy?
Beanie Babies.
Okay, sure. That was like a hot thing where I grew up for a little while. It was like because they had the yellow Live Strong one because Lance Armstrong, and then they started like making the breast cancer one.
Yep.
And then
And
like
then it
if a
was
kid
just, like-
died in your town, he would get one.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. So
You
everyone
collected
Tie
your
dye.
dead friends.
Tie dye for tie.
How many friends lost? I got 3.
But you were younger, so I guess Live Strong, like they
Yeah.
were cooler.
I guess.
I feel
I
like
don't
I'd
think
already
they-
been
me
through
and him are the
so
same
many
age. I don't remember
fads.
Live Strong ever being cool.
Okay.
In my opinion.
Okay.
All right, so
Yeah.
I didn't have any friends who did it. I was just collecting them on my own.
Fun.
Speaking
Fun.
of middle school, just a quick shout out to Bowling for Soup and Jarrett Reddick for making our new theme song that debuted last week.
Unreal.
Thanks, Jarrett. He might be coming onto the podcast soon. I got to give him a
That'd be
shout out
sweet.
for making this song.
Yeah,
It's part of the
Would you like
deal.
to come back and meet him?
Oh my God, I would love
Do you
to.
want to end this episode so you can come back for that one?
Yeah. We're going to eat soup with Bowling for Soup. There, we do sit next to soup cans, so it makes sense.
He'll feel right at home.
I got really excited about the SpaghettiOs. Would you classify SpaghettiOs as soup or noodles?
I think
Noodles.
it's a mix of both, right?
Right?
Because it's pasta and, well, it says, technically on the can, it says pasta in tomato and cheese sauce. So I guess they're calling
Okay,
themselves a
so
pasta.
it's just pasta.
That sauce is far too thick to call like a.
But
a
it sits amongst the soups, so that's confusing.
because where else would it be?
Yeah.
you know?
It sits amongst the soups. That sounds
It's-
like a good movie.
It
There's-
could be on the other side with the pastas.
It could be on the pasta, but I feel like it doesn't have the class to be a pasta. It's still, because it's in a can.
Yeah.
It is
Wow,
delicious,
600
though.
milligrams of sodium for 1 cup of this.
Do you eat any? Do you eat all this
I
sort of?
love SpaghettiOs.
Do you?
Yeah.
What's
I think
your
I'm the
go-to?
only adult person who still eats SpaghettiOs like
SpaghettiOs?
regularly.
I love the ravioli they made.
I'm not a
No.
big canned food guy, I don't think.
Well, I can't be anymore, but like I love the convenience of all of it.
Yeah.
I love being able to just put something in the microwave
Yeah.
and just trust that the chemicals will cook itself. You know.
My microwave broke like 6 months ago, and I haven't eaten since.
You look fantastic.
Thank
though.
you.
Yeah.
Thank
You
you.
can finally fit into this dog
Yes,
collar.
that's really all I was training for.
This is my goal.
I hope the one you put up on your neck to mine, and my neck is not skinny enough for
I
it
think
yet.
this is for like a Yorkie.
Is that the energy you
Like
bring?
a very
Yorkie
like
energy?
skinny, yeah, like just like bony, like shaky woman
Yeah.
energy. Like perpetually scared, but also think I'm tougher than I am. Stay out of my
That's
house.
Yorkie energy.
Yeah.
I think
big
I'd be a
Yorkie
puggle.
energy. Yeah.
I'd be a pug
This
or a
doesn't fit
puggle.
my. I don't know what this is for. A dog named Rex. I don't have Rex
But
energy.
a gay Rex.
Yeah,
Like
that's
the
me.
blue. Yeah, I love it.
That's actually,
I
I want to
have
go into making gay dog collars.
Honestly, it's bringing out both of your eyes.
It compliments
It really
my green
is.
eyes.
Yeah.
it's
I think
it
it's because
feels, I feel like
it's kind of bulging mine out since it's so tight that my eyes are popping out a little bit more.
it
Oh,
feels
remember
like,
that fad? That little squishy guy that it would bulge his eyes out. He was a
Yeah.
keychain.
Yes.
That was
Oh.
fun.
I feel like this is locking me-
Tamagotchi. So many good toys.
So many good toys. Did Tamagotchis get banned at your school? They got banned at mine.
No, heroin did.
Wait, why did they get banned?
Because we would all like check on our children all throughout class. We'd be
The
like, he's
teachers didn't
hungry.
have that
I can't learn cursive at a time like this.
Right. It's funny because there was a time where they used to give kids eggs to raise. And then you're like, when you're actually doing it, they don't want you to do it.
They don't want you to do it.
When you're actually showing care.
Yeah.
I don't
For an
remember at any
electronic
point in
child.
school
Yeah.
having to raise something.
I think I did. I think
the
mine-
bag of flour, shit like that.
I think mine was a bag of flour. And
Really?
I think it was a really high mortality rate.
I would assume
They would give you
because-
one for like the week.
Yeah.
But that's not like a baby. Like nobody's going to let a baby die.
No, it's totally different. I mean, I
I
guess
feel.
it's like
Yeah, like if I saw my flour bag start leaking, I wouldn't immediately help it. But if I saw
Yeah.
a baby bleeding, I'd be like, I should help that.
Yeah, you're like,
bleeding baby.
that can still make cake.
Yeah.
What's the baby going to do?
yeah.
Maybe they should have given us more bags of flour because in my town, a lot of kids I went to school with children.
Really?
Yeah, I run in like the
Oh,
rec
the
center of
child.
my town, and
Uh-huh.
every now and then I'll be like, "You have a son? You're walking through the trail with your son?"
Well, is the child still alive?
Yeah, but still,
Then the flour bag worked.
Then they
I mean,
did a
it's
good
as simple
job.
as that.
I guess so. If the kid is alive,
Yeah.
No, a lot of the kids were like, oh, I'm pregnant. Fuck. Well, I had flour for a week. I could do this.
just walk into a Planned Parenthood with a bag of flour.
Yeah. We're like, he wants a little brother.
I love Planned
We're
Parenthood
excited.
so much.
Me
One of my
too.
favorite places to go. It's fun to visit.
Just fun to visit.
It's more fun when you're a dude because you know no matter what you're not pregnant. So-
Definitely.
So when you're in the waiting room, you're like, it's not gonna be that bad. It's just gonna be chlamydia.
I had you know how like when like women get to like mid 20s to late 30s, sometimes they'll say things like my ovaries are hurting when they see like a little child.
Yeah.
Like their clock is ticking.
Yeah.
I have that, but I don't have ovaries.
Sure.
Like, I literally look at children and like something in my body. I guess it's where ovaries would be
Yeah.
starts to tingle, and I'm like,
It's your
I want
balls.
Yeah.
You're like,
Wow,
my
you
balls
want a
are
kid
hurting.
that bad?
But
Ah.
there's no like equivalent. You can't be like, fuck, my Adam's apple is going bananas. Right
Yeah.
now, you know.
I
Yeah,
like
no,
that.
it'd be weird if you were like, that kid's so cute, my balls are killing me.
Yeah, tell that to his parent. They're like, what? Your balls just start hurting? You're like, there's a cute kid around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he must be in the area.
I feel that. I feel 25 is when I started realizing I was like, that kid's cute. I was out
Oh,
to
yeah.
lunch in Astoria recently, a little brunch action. I see a nice little cute family.
I've always
Masculine
loved
white
cute
dude,
kids.
little Asian wife. Their kids were perfect.
Perfect.
Oh my!
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
pointed at my girlfriend. I was like, "Look at that little Asian baby." Mm-hmm. Oh
You said that to her?
yeah, I'm not gonna not say it. It was so adorable.
Yeah.
My boyfriend and I go to this Japanese market in Jersey called Mitsuwa, and
Mitsuwa.
they have the cutest little babies there. And I'll always like, it's like kind of like
For sale?
cafeteria style. Yeah, of course. No, but you like get your food at whatever place you went
Yeah.
to, get your little ramen, and I always choose a table with optimal viewing for children.
That's the key.
And my boyfriend used to be like, "This is so creepy," and now he will also choose me a table. He'd be like, "Look where I sat us." And I'm like, "Babe,
Yeah, I know.
Perfect
Well,
she's so
baby looking
fat. I
sweet.
love her."
I will like I see little kids and they're like the cutest thing in the world to me. But as a 25-year-old man, you got to be careful who you say that around.
Right. Oh, I feel so bad for you because
Thank you.
I've been no, but seriously, like, because everyone just assumes that like you're a creep that wants to fuck them, and it's
Yeah.
like I've been able to say kids were cute since I was a kid.
Quite the opposite. I don't want.
I will be honest. It looks very creepy. Us saying kids are cute while wearing
Yeah,
tight
look,
blue
we're not
choker
doing anything to make
collars.
this. You know.
Yeah, this clip's gonna be awful to put on Instagram.
Yeah.
Kids like to
Perverts.
pet dogs, don't they? Woof, woof.
Yeah.
Come over here,
Just
baby.
crawl over to a child. We get some cute kids who come in here sometimes.
I know, but we have collars on right now, and we need to remember that.
You imagine a dad just comes in and beats the shit out of the both of us
With our collars, he rips us
and
off.
then he looks at Remy. He's like, "Have a nice day." Like, you're fine. Don't worry.
I've always wanted to just get the shit beat out of me.
Why?
I don't know. It sounded like something
Because
fun
he's
to
never
say.
had it done.
Yeah.
I have been hit before.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a little exhilarating.
Yeah, I don't know about. It's not. Ben and I do something called the punching game.
Yeah.
Ben is my boyfriend, and where we start lightly both punching each other, lightly in the face
In
at
the
the
face.
same time, lightly, very lightly, and then we both start going harder, and then like at the same time we both go ow.
What is the,
And then we
what is the
stop.
goal of the game?
I don't
put
know.
off
Just
domestic violence.
to punch, like, because neither of us, I guess, has punched someone in the face.
I like the game that you guys have that together.
But like it yeah, it's not, you don't play this at home.
Yeah, yeah.
I think you should. That sounds like we used to play
That'd be a
slaps
tough one.
growing
Like, you
up.
imagine if like the cops show up and they're like, "We hear this domestic dispute, and you and Ben just both have like black eyes."
But it's it's only cheek.
Okay.
It's like right on the flat part of your face, and then like once you get to about like when it starts to be like ow,
then you both
you're just
stop.
like no,
You're like
yeah.
playing bloody knuckles with each
Yeah.
other.
Have you guys ever had like a fight in the morning and then when you're playing the game at night, like you're like, I feel like he's taking it out on the game?
no. We usually play the punching game like when we're in good spirits.
Yeah, you can't be
You
a
don't
bad
play the
spirit game
punching
because
game. Yeah.
that's a
Ceremonial.
quick thing to be like, yeah, remember this morning? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to play slaps on the bus in middle school.
Yeah.
But like intense where you would just slap the person's hand and then the loser was whoever broke a blood vessel first.
Yeah,
Ooh.
that was the
Yeah.
game. Yeah.
Yeah,
We'd be
no.
like, yeah, let's go to 7th grade. And then you just had like a weird red mark in your hand.
I thought that was very brave when people did that. But yeah, we never get
Looking
to
back
like
on it, probably just
bruise
stupid.
quality. Yeah, stupid.
Yeah. A
Fine
lot of
line.
stupid things.
It's a
Yeah.
fine line between stupid and brave sometimes.
Yeah, I mean Harry Potter, stupid or brave?
Oh, man. Brave,
knows?
Gryffindor.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you a Gryffindor? We're
No,
both Harry Potter.
I'm a Slytherin, you
people.
idiot.
Slytherin? You've Pottermored Slytherin?
I've Pottermored Ravenclaw and Slytherin, and I feel as I've grown, I've become more Slytherin than Ravenclaw.
That's fair. As you've
'Cause I'm
grown past the
stupider.
years where you
I'm
wouldn't
just
even
evil.
be in Hogwarts.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if, like in Harry Potter world, is a Gryffindor allowed to transition to a Slytherin later in life if they become evil? We only see them when they're students.
Right.
I'm a huge Harry Potter nerd. At a point, there was a game called Quiz Up. I think it was an app.
Uh-huh.
And I was like worldly ranked Harry Potter trivia. And that's when I was
that's
like, I need to put my life
amazing.
together.
Yeah. No, that's good. It's cool. It's impressive.
You've been to the one in Orlando, Harry Potter World?
Yes.
Oh, it's my favorite.
One of my friends was a producer of Harry Potter World, which meant like she would go around the park at 5 a.m. and like make sure everything was like in place and all like the banisters and like they have the Bobatons that like perform and then the guy Durmstrang who has like they like do like dances
Yeah,
where
the
with like the
sticks.
sticks
Yeah,
and like
Victor Crumb.
so they'd make sure like she'd be like, oh, some of the sticks are broken, we gotta get new sticks, and like
That's
every morning would
incredible.
walk
I would
around.
get so stoned for that job.
Yeah.
To just walk around yourself, Harry Potter World, because you've never been, I'm assuming.
No.
The Harry Potter World in Orlando, the way they like designed it, you really feel like it's no part of Florida.
Really?
Like it's like the
It's-
top.
it's
It's so
winter.
tight and shit.
yeah, it's amazing.
It's really cool, and they got butterbeer. That's delicious.
Yes.
I think my dad recently read the first Harry Potter.
that's
Good for
creepy.
him.
Yeah, he was like, I want to see. He was just like, well, now you see where I get it from, you know. Like, but
You guys are just always looking for new things in your life.
we're just always looking
New
for new
young
things that children are
things.
into.
Yeah.
And he read it because, but to me, it just made total sense when he said that. He was like, I mean, this people love this.
Yeah.
Adults love it. He was like, I
Yeah.
just want to see what
Oh.
it is.
I don't
So
know
he read
why I
one,
called
and he
him
was like,
creepy.
I was like, I don't think I'm going to read the others right now, but it is very good.
Yeah.
I still always have the books with me in case I want to read it. Get into a dark time, pop out a
Just
little
like at all
goblet of fire.
times you carry it
Yeah.
with you.
Goblet
All
of Fire
time.
is your favorite?
I would have to say because that's when it becomes like real.
Yeah, it gets a little darker.
Yeah,
I was
that-
gonna say your dad might want to stick it out.
Yeah.
Goblet of Fire to me is when like, okay, Voldemort's back for real and
Yeah.
people kind of believe Harry a little bit now.
Yeah,
I like that period where no one believes him because it's fun to see Daniel Radcliffe struggle.
definitely.
I can't see him in anything else though. It really ruined his acting career for me, Harry Potter.
I think it did that for a lot of people.
Yeah, I watched
and for
a
him as
rom-com.
well.
Yeah, for him. I
Yeah.
watched
So
a rom-com with him last week and he was so bad that he was in a rom-com with the actress who played Kumail Nanjiani's girlfriend in The Big Sick.
Okay.
Where she was amazing.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Daniel Radcliffe had no chemistry with her.
Aw,
so he's a
man.
worse actor than Kumail Nanjiani at least.
I saw him in Equus on Broadway. Do you remember that when
No,
he
but I was
went
gonna
full
say-
frontal?
Oh, that was the nude one.
Yeah,
How's
and
his peach?
I was like 16 when I saw it. My sister is 3.5 years younger than me. We went together, and I made up a joke that I still use in my stand-up now
At
about
16.
Moaning Myrtle seeing Harry
Oh,
Potter's
yeah, I love
penis.
that joke and a great act out, a great
Thank
voice.
you. But that was just because we did see his penis at
Yeah.
Equus, and
Wow.
it was a good show.
Yeah.
It was a
you
good
got your
penis?
money's worth.
Yeah.
What was his penis like?
Honestly, like it was too flaccid to tell.
Yeah.
You know, I don't ever want
It's
to
an
judge
interesting-
someone when they're not hard.
And thank you for that.
For sure.
Honestly,
Like,
ballsy
just-
for him to do that, to just go out flaccid every day to an
Literally.
audience.
Yeah.
Literally ballsy.
And also, everyone, you should know that the penis, the size, it really doesn't matter to women because most likely we're not going to come from your penis anyway.
Right.
Only 8 to 25% of women can.
How Come podcast?
No, I'm just
So-
telling you.
No,
Yeah.
but I'm
But
also
also,
saying we
yeah.
forgot to plug that. You
That's
have the How
fine.
Come podcast, very successful podcast.
Well, it's not. What
About
do they say?
coming.
It's not about the size of the boat. It's about the motion of the ocean.
Exactly. and whether you're willing to use your fingers and mouth.
Right. It's about what you're,
whether the boat uses its fingers and mouth.
It's kind of more about what you're willing to do outside of the ocean entirely.
Exactly.
My girlfriend.
What are you doing on the beach?
She started telling a great joke on stage where she's like, everyone should date a guy who used to be fat because he eats pussy like it's the last piece of self-esteem cake.
Amazing.
That's hilarious.
Amazing.
Wow. That
Which is
so-
true because I didn't know guys didn't enjoy doing it. When you're a fat dude, that's just something you have to have in the repertoire.
Right.
Sure. Yeah, there's this guy I had on the podcast. He's a therapist. I think he might be a psychiatrist. You know, like he's a doctor. And he wrote a book called She Comes First about like how to give the best head ever because he had to because he was a premature ejaculator. So he was like, I'm not going to ever get someone off vaginally. So he just like kind of threw that to the side and was like, what else can I do?
Yeah.
That's a great tactic.
Yeah, and good on him for admitting it because he could have just been like, I'm a doctor, so I wanted to know what the best way to do it was. But he like included that detail about himself.
No, he starts it being like, I wrote this book because I come too quick.
Yeah.
He's like, and I still do.
Yeah.
And it's fine. And
Doesn't matter.
I'm still married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still married.
And I'm still married.
I come quick and I'm still married. How's it going? Nice to meet you.
That's how he introduces
Dr. Ian
him.
Kerner, how are you? But yeah, I couldn't come and now I can thanks to my podcast. So ladies, if you can't
Hell yeah.
come, listen to How Come.
I
please do.
can come.
Can't you? Have you come forever?
What?
Said, have
I come?
have you come forever?
Yeah, but it varies. Like sometimes it is quick and then sometimes it's not at all. Like it's a real wide spectrum.
Like,
I'm
I'd
learning.
imagine it's totally different simply because, like, from an evolutionary standpoint, a man
Has to have a
right?
baby.
So it's like, although they do say that sometimes, like, orgasm and ejaculation are not actually intertwined for men. Like, it is possible
Right.
for a man to ejaculate without having any...
Totally. Everybody
So-
can.
Right.
That was one thing that I learned on the podcast that I didn't understand because a lot of guys would be like, well, yeah, I used to be able to orgasm, but I wouldn't come. Like before, like when they were young,
What? Yeah.
like before puberty, they'd be
Oh,
like, oh yeah, I'd
shit.
feel the feeling, but nothing would
Yeah.
come out.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, we're a lot more alike than
Yeah.
I thought. Because like then there's like girls who write in and be like, I squirted with like this toy that you recommended, but I don't think I came. Is that possible? I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
How's that for confusion, though, right?
So
That's
confusing.
so complicated.
Sex is very confusing.
There's a
It is
way.
very
There's a
confusing.
tactic that men can use that I don't even know how you
the
would
finger
do it.
in the ass, right?
Exactly.
My ass. I put my
In
finger
their
in
own
my
ass.
Yep.
My thumb, my
Yeah.
butt.
Yeah,
Let's
that
go.
that's where I was going with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
My own finger in my ass.
that's his move for me. Like, he's in another room doing it, but I'm like, so long as I know Dan's doing
Yes,
it, I'm
yes.
content. But apparently, like, a man has the ability to stop an ejaculation, but it would like shoot back into his body. If
What?
that makes sense. So they can orgasm but cut off, like, not ejaculate, and then
Is
but
that like tantric? Or
kind of? Yeah. I mean, I've and then like I don't even know how you would do it, but.
I think
But
you
the guy's
tie
like,
this collar
you
around
wear
it.
the collar. Dan puts a finger in his ass, and you're good to
And
go.
you're good to
I'm wearing this
go.
in bed tonight. The collar.
You are. You should.
Yeah. By myself. I'm just gonna fall asleep with it on.
I really think it's a good
Good-
look.
It's good for
I
posture.
don't mind.
It's also like if you want to do a little heroin, you can put it around your arm.
Yeah,
So
I feel
true.
like I feel like I'm
Please
going
come
to a
back.
punk rock concert.
You're just giving us all the tools.
I do feel like I'm going to a punk rock concert after this.
Well, maybe you
Bowling
should.
for soup?
Yeah,
Anyone?
little bowling for soup action.
The problem
Wait,
is
so
now-
you guys went to school together? Is that
Yeah.
how?
No.
No. The bowling for soup
Oh
guy.
no, they're so much older than us. I think.
So
I had a DM one time on Instagram, like one of the
Okay,
requests,
yeah.
and I clicked on it and was like, "Hey man, your weight loss is really inspiring." Like it was a nice message, and then I clicked on the guy's
that
profile.
was who I actually remember you telling me about
Yeah.
that when we were at the Lantern.
Yeah, then I clicked on his profile, and
Yeah.
it was Jarrett Reddick, who's the lead singer
Yeah.
of Bowling for Soup, who also like does some comedy and whatnot.
That's awesome.
So then I was like, "Hey, can we use 1985 or almost for the podcast?" And he was like, "I could write you guys the theme song and have like the band back it up."
Mm-hmm.
So we're like, "Yeah, sure." And then
That's so sick.
He
I've said
did
it a
it.
million times, but if I told like my third grade self or fifth grade self that would happen, I'd be like, what the fuck does that even
Yeah.
mean? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to actually have that CD, the one that had 1985
Oh,
on
really?
it. The move that I like of theirs that make me like them as a troll of a band is everyone thought they sang Stacy's Mom.
Right.
But they didn't, so they recorded their own version of it so they could just get the money from all the streams.
Hilarious.
And like if you go on their Spotify, that's one of their most streamed songs.
That's
I was gonna say Stacy's Mom was the first one that popped into my head before
Yeah,
1985.
they sound exactly alike.
But that's
who made
Fountains of
that?
Wayne.
Yes, that's who it is.
Yeah.
Fountains of Wayne. I think my favorite is, what was that movie, Euro Trip? Scotty Doesn't Know. That was a
Scotty
good-
doesn't
yeah.
know is an who wait.
Lustra.
Yeah, with Matt Damon
Yeah,
singing it.
Matt
Oh.
Damon plays the singer in the movie.
Yeah, I didn't
So
understand that.
good.
Todd Barry's in Euro Trip.
Really?
Yeah, Todd Barry, the stand-up, plays the security guard in the college when they get into the fight in like the main building of the college. He's the security guard.
Don't
He's
you
been in a
love
bunch of
that
stuff,
when you
though.
like see somebody from like a movie that like you've
Oh, yeah.
seen a million times, and then you're like, oh, that's that actor.
Yeah, like
I
after you got
love
into
that
stand-up,
actor.
you're like,
yeah.
oh my god.
Yeah.
Like Doug Benson was in an episode or two of Friends.
Hilarious.
He worked at the poster printing shop where
Yeah.
they like hit on the girl there.
Yeah.
Wasn't he the one who asked Rachel on a date?
Yeah,
or
he
something?
went
And
on
he's
a date
like,
with
My
her.
mom calls it bloomies. That's his line.
My mom
Yeah.
goes, yeah. I bet he still gets residuals for
Well,
that.
it's like I'll be watching TV and it'll be like an auto body shop, and I'll be like, oh, that's Sean Donnelly. You
Yeah.
know? Like,
Yeah.
Dude,
There's
Doug
like a bunch of
Benson
those.
is, in my opinion, of all the stoners I've ever met, the best by
The best
far.
stoner.
Yeah, when I did that show that he does, Getting Doug with High,
Mm-hmm.
when I showed up, he was doing 2 shoots that day. He was already high. We
Mm.
were the first shoot. He smoked 2 joints with me, smoked a couple bowls, and then did his dab rig, and then had to do a whole nother episode where he did the same thing.
Unreal.
And he was already high, like there. Like his studio is so cool. They have vents in the studio that just vents the weed out of the building.
I can't
It's funny
compete with
because-
that, but I'd love to.
It was the first
I
time I've ever
brought
had to
half a
smoke weed on
joint
camera.
today
It was
for
scary.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah, for after this.
He's
Awesome.
like,
Then I'm gonna finish my sandwich.
he's got like the efficiency of Jeopardy and Alex Trebek because they'll do like 2 episodes in a row, but he's stoned the whole time.
Yeah.
It's
Do you
incredible.
perform high ever?
All the time.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I really love it.
Yeah.
I don't see any difference. I get why some comics say it's hard for them, but for me, I actually think it's a little bit easier.
Yeah, I mean, life is easier for me high, so
Yeah.
why wouldn't on stage be easier for me?
People were
high?
shocked when I told them because I put up a few weight loss pics this week and I said the stoned running. People still get shocked that that's actually a thing, but that's the best
Oh
thing
my
for
God.
because it cures anxiety.
I never work out, but if I do, being high on an elliptical, I'm like, this is fine.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you actually
just
get more
listen to
high when you
music
sweat,
and you-
or
yeah.
so would they say.
Also, somebody told me that your metabolism speeds up when you smoke.
Really makes
Um,
sense.
It's interesting.
Like, it must make sense, right? Because I eat the most and I'm still not
Never get full, really.
right.
I could eat so much when I'm stoned. It's bad.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't even get the munchies anymore. It's just like I don't feel like I have to eat when I'm high because I just smoke so much. But if I do start to eat, it just doesn't stop.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I guess I have.
That's
the
like
munchies
opening
now.
a.
I wish
breaking
Jack
the
smoked.
seal.
Yeah,
Do you
breaking.
not
no,
smoke?
I don't.
He doesn't do anything. He robs himself of
And
all
you
the
don't
joys
drink.
of life.
Don't drink anymore.
Yeah.
It's like Jack's looking for real happiness.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I just was not, and I know that if I tried it enough times, I probably would have enjoyed it. But for me, anytime I smoked, I just kind of, it made me more anxious.
Sure. Then
You
don't
know?
do it.
Yeah, that was
Don't
my thing. Was
waste
like,
our weed.
I'm not gonna
Thanks.
try and get good at this.
Yeah.
When it makes me unhappy.
No, I realized I can't drink like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Because I'd always been like just going along with everything and like trying to be cool and social
Yeah.
and drinking and throwing up constantly. But not even because I was drinking that much, because I'm probably allergic to alcohol.
Sure.
Really?
And my sister was like, hey, do you ever notice that like you can only have 2 glasses of wine before you start puking and crying? And I was like,
Wow.
no, I didn't notice that. And then I took inventory and I was like, yeah, that
Yeah.
holds up. So why am I doing this? I'm
Right.
not having a good time. Nobody thinks I'm like hot or drunk.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. You just end up earning the reputation. You're like, oh yeah, Remy starts crying and throws up when she. gets
Yeah,
drunk,
she
you
like
know?
complains to people. She's like a total dark cloud.
Yeah.
And disgusting.
Which is just so far, I feel like, from how you are when you're not drinking.
Oh, thanks.
Stoned me
So-
so much better than drunk me, but that's because I'm a binge drinker. So it's either like you see me a little tipsy and happy, or you see me blacked out.
I would love to get tipsy and happy. I don't
Yeah.
even get to that point. I'm like sober.
It's hard for me to stop in that point. Oh, you just throw.
Oh,
throw it
I
back
know.
quickly.
You totally-
I know you guys don't like me.
You totally are allergic to it, aren't you?
Yeah.
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 I met one comic on the road, and we did a few shows together. And anytime she would get drunk, she would just start asking people, like, it was probably way too dark to admit. But she would just go like, "Are we gonna die?" And I'd be like, "What?" She'd be like, "Am I gonna die tonight?" And I'd be like, "You gotta stop."
Not
It's like,
tonight,
what do you know?
bro.
But then you're like, what do you know that I don't?
Yeah,
know?
when someone
It's
asks,
just
we were
like-
in the back of an Uber, and the Uber driver does the thing where he looks back and he's like, "I don't think so."
He's like, I don't have any plans, but
Well, that's like Chris Hamilton one time told me. He's like, I think a psychic told him that he would die before he turns like 30 or something like
Mm-hmm.
that. And he's like, and they told me it would happen in a car. And I was driving him, and I was like, Jesus Christ, get out,
Yeah,
Chris!
get out!
I was like, you can take the train. You know, you're one of my best friends, but this is not how it's gonna happen.
a psychic told me, 2 people actually, a psychic and then Sarah Hartshorn read my palm. The psychic told me like 5 years ago I was going to be with somebody for a very long time who dies early in life,
Aw,
and then I
Ben.
remarry. Yeah, it's Ben.
Aw.
And then Sarah, was reading my palm like a month ago at Patty's, and she had done all the other female comics in like patties before, and like everyone's walking away being like, success, fame, excitement. And I'm like, is it my turn? And she's like, yeah. And she like sees my palm and she goes, oh no. And I go, oh, I know, Ben dies. She goes, yeah.
No, poor Ben.
I know
Yeah.
Ben dies.
Yeah.
What does Ben have to say about all this?
Whenever because sometimes like I'll be like, yeah, maybe that's the guy I end up with after you, and he's like, can you stop
Yeah.
like putting this like out there? I'm like, oh, it's already out there, buddy.
You gotta watch that, because if Ben breaks up with you, it's totally gonna be just so like he can get someone else out of the way, and then he can be the guy you remarry.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
Oh my god, let's
That's
just
a
write
weird
that
rom-com.
rom-com.
Yep.
Yes, bitch.
My
you
whole
get
goal
me.
You're like
life
sad
is
at
to
the
write a
funeral of your
rom-com.
husband, but then Ben comes in and everything's fine.
And he's like fucking wasted. He's like,
"I'm
what's
back
up?
for ya."
It's me.
I wrote in my notes when I was high one time, I wrote the premise for what I thought would be the darkest rom-com, which is it opens on a car accident, head-on-head collision, and one is a wife driving a husband and a husband driving a wife, and then
they end
the
up
drivers,
together.
The drivers die and the passengers fall in love with each other while they're
love
mourning the
that.
How intense would that be?
And it's just like, oh where
Yeah.
can my baby be?
It's like really cheesy songs playing, and the way I have it written is like after the credits, they drive away from the wedding and just get hit by a truck.
Oh yeah,
That's
beautiful.
awesome.
Everyone dies in the movie.
You would
I
have to
love
do it and
it.
just make it like the accident is so gruesome and like violent and horrible, but they like look up and they're both covered in blood, and when they make eye contact, just beautiful music starts playing. You know,
They just start kissing over the bodies. It could be there could be a lot in this movie.
This thing's
We
got
could
legs.
make very different genres of it. Like one's a horror film,
Yeah.
one's like one where it ends up happy.
There's one with like 30 extra minutes of jokes.
Yeah, there's a Tommy Wiseau one where it's just like, I did not drive.
Writing a rom-com does seem fun. Jason Segel did that. That's why I always liked that. Because Judd Apatow told him he was uncastable, so he wrote Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
No way.
Judd Apatow told him that.
I think he said, like, if you want the role of a lead in a movie, you need to write yourself
You have to
into
write it yourself. Well, that's like the SNL thing, right? It's like you don't just get on SNL and get like an amazing part. You usually have like a writing partner or somebody who
Yeah.
like writes roles for you.
Yeah,
You just have to
It's
make
true.
up your own
It's,
shit.
That famous Chris Farley sketch, the van down by a river thing,
Yeah.
was written by Bob Odenkirk.
Yeah.
Really?
He went on to be Better Call Saul. Like he's one of like
Yeah.
the greatest like comedy writers of all time.
Yeah, it's
And
like
he just plays a lawyer and everything.
Conan wrote The Simpsons.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
Nice
So-
socks, by the way.
Thank
Red
you.
socks.
I
huh?
had to do it on him when
I
I knew
got-
Remy was going to be here.
I got some Starry Nights.
I got black socks.
Some Van Goghs.
Remy, we ask everyone the same question because in this undisclosed deli, which no one knows the name of, this is where Dan's first job
Question
was.
is, how come?
The question is, how come? What was your what was your first job when you were growing up?
Oh. The first one I ever got paid for, I think, I was a CIT, counselor in training.
Yeah, CIT. I haven't heard that
At-
term since.
Yeah. There was a place called Sport Time, Amagansett, and I went to camp there as a kid. And then
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up here in the city.
Oh, in the city. Oh,
Yeah.
That's rare. I feel
Yeah.
like.
Yeah. I grew up in Bodega.
Yeah.
In an actual
She'll
bodega.
tell you the name of this place. She doesn't give a fuck.
No, I won't. But yeah, so then I've always really liked kids, and I was like, I want to work with these younger ones. So I was a CIT for the 3-year-olds, and then I kept working there as like a tennis hitter, and then I worked there as a desk girl. So it was like my
Desk
first
girl.
5 jobs were all at this
Yeah.
same place.
Wow, all at a camp.
Yeah.
Where was the camp on Long Island?
Amagansett, Long Island. Yeah.
Okay.
Was it sleepaway?
No, day camp.
No.
Yeah.
I went to a day camp called Frogbridge Day Camp.
Cool.
Yeah. Day camp's fun.
Yeah.
3 years you did it for?
CIT for 1, hitter for 1, and desk girl for like 2 summers, I think.
Did you ever get sick of the kids, or were they?
And then I
fun?
was a counselor at one point too.
You got the call up to the big
Yeah.
leagues.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I did something
boss.
major. There was a kid who was crying and he was snotting all over his face. And I went and I schnooked him with my hand. Like I took all the snot from his nose and I wiped his face or whatever. And the head counselor was like, "You're the best counselor I've ever seen."
They're like,
And I
how
was
did
like-
you learn that?
I was like, "Actually, I'm just disgusting. Thank you."
As you're rubbing the snot in
Yeah.
your hair.
Yeah. Something about married myself for the rest of the day.
Just stuck up.
I
I mean, is
never
that a
made
new
it to
hairstyle? Like,
counselor.
I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know what it is.
I never made it to counselor at camp.
Yeah.
I
Well,
wasn't given the
you
call
had a
up.
tough go of it at camp, right?
I was, yeah, a counselor beat the shit out of me when I was 8
when he
years
was a
old.
kid.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
I was always like a bully, I guess. I was just good at roasting at a young age.
Okay.
And there was this older counselor who was a real nerd. He was probably 10 years older than me, like 18. and I would bully the hell out of him, or like just make fun of him, make his days miserable. And then one day he told me, like, I don't remember. I think he told me there was like snacks in the shed behind the tennis court. So like I was a fat kid, so I went, and then he just took a tennis
my
racket and like
God.
beat me in the face
What
with a
the
tennis racket.
fuck?
Yeah, my parents still like to deny that. Like they don't remember the full specifics of it. But I remember like the camp gave me a limo for like a week and a half or 2 weeks, like picking me up
Well,
from my
that needs
house.
to be a movie too.
Yeah.
Guys, you can get whatever you want. Don't worry.
Yeah, come through the aisle. They're laughing at us.
Yeah, they're not gonna.
Don't laugh at us.
But yeah,
We'll laugh at you.
it was funny because my face looked like it had like a waffle iron.
Yeah.
I mean, your parents probably deny it because they probably didn't do anything at the time.
Yeah, they were stupid though, because it was such like a wealthy kid camp for some reason. Like my parents spent so much of the money to put me there that they could have owned the camp. That
Yeah.
happens today. You're fucked.
Yeah.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
That kid goes to jail. Like, you know, it ends up being a whole thing. Everyone just kept it quiet, and it wasn't the social
Yeah,
media
one time that
age.
same camp lost me, and they did the same thing. They were like the mob. Like they lost me, and then for a week straight, they
quieted you up.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need to have a conversation in the aisle. but- Wow, they didn't like that. I was trying to do a bit. One girl got really mad at
how
it.
old are they? We think they're like 14,
Children,
16. Yeah, they don't have
The one with the
true
coronavirus
confidence
Band-Aid
yet.
got mad at me.
Yeah. It's because she's got a Band-Aid on her nose.
Was that rude
and
of me to
she's
say, Jack?
embarrassed. No, it wasn't rude.
I thought it was just so funny.
Okay, listen. We were very courteous. We said, come get anything you want. Then they saw the camera and they were like, let's have a full conversation.
know.
We're going to get a chyron in this reality show in the aisle.
Yeah.
They were such different friends because
You
the one
shoulda-
girl
you
was like,
shoulda-
yeah, okay. And the other friend was like, well, I don't know. They're having one. It's like, yeah, we're doing a podcast. Wait, that's a conversation.
Where is your H6 Zoom?
Yeah, you should have just been like, hey, by the way, just so you guys know, even if you are having a conversation and there might be cameras, they might not even air what you're doing. all right?
Exactly.
I honestly think
Talking
they
about
still
me?
are.
I'm sorry.
Talking about me and my recent non-fame.
It's that's such bullshit. That's such a shame. That would have been so good.
Do any of your listeners watch Summer House, you think?
I
They
know.
know what
I
we're
might be the
talking
only
about?
one who watches
Hannah
it.
Berner was on, so
Yeah,
she's
Hannah
a summer
rocks.
guest person.
Yeah.
Summer House.
So Hannah and I are close friends through comedy, podcasting, and life. And I went to a few of the Summer House parties, shoots,
If you
this will, this summer. And one of the big storylines this season is Kyle and Amanda aren't having sex. They're engaged, but they're not having sex. And I got to the party. I've known Kyle
What a
since
storyline.
before shooting, because like growing up, or he didn't grow up in the city, but like he partied and I partied, and I think we
Yeah.
met on Molly once. Oh,
Oh.
maybe cut that out. But anyway, nobody listens who listens to Summer House. They're not gonna be like, bravo,
Yeah.
excuse me.
I love a good Molly story.
So you met him. How old do you think you were when you met
So I
him?
probably met him when I was like 20s, just like partying in the city. And so he sees me at the Summer House party and he's like, oh, Remy, what are you doing here? Your podcast is blowing up.
Yeah.
Also, me and Amanda aren't having sex. And I was like, okay.
Like almost felt scripted, right?
Like, no, he was so drunk
yeah.
that
Oh, so
I
it was
was
just
like,
an
oh,
admission.
this is just like verbal diarrhea.
Yeah.
And so I started giving him tips on what he can do. I was like, maybe don't just like wake her up with a boner in the morning, you know, like give her some back tickles, give her a massage, say nice things
Give
or
her some
whatever.
back tickles.
You know, but we love that. And people don't think
Oh,
of
I
that as
love a back
sexual.
tickle.
People love back tickles.
I'm big into the tickling.
Yeah. Yeah. Just in case Dan's single anytime soon. No,
doesn't
he won't
seem
be.
like it.
Won't be. Loves his girlfriend.
Yeah. Oh, we have said the L word.
Have
That is
you?
the update. Yeah.
Oh,
Fastest
so
I've ever said it to
cute.
someone, and I feel like the only time I've probably meant it.
That's so. I literally,
Yeah.
I felt bad the other day because I love your girlfriend too, and you had tweeted like 3 tweets about her in a row, and
Yeah.
then I commented, Dan loves his girlfriend.
At that
and,
point, we hadn't said it.
and I was like, oh no, what did I do? But also, he's seen it and whatever.
Yeah. Too late to get rid of it.
I
It's
thought it
out
was
there.
funny because I think she said it to me like the next day. But I was also, when she said it to me, I was like, oh, I'm so glad you did because it's been on the tip of my tongue for like 2 weeks.
Oh, it's so.
That's a really
cute.
nice moment.
Yeah.
It is. It's a good relationship. It's fun.
When my boyfriend and I said it to each other, I was hysterically crying because he wouldn't come into the city to play video games with me and my sister. And he was like, I'll come in just in 3 hours. And I was like, no, now. And he's like, why? And I was like, because you don't love me. Like I made that jump.
Yeah.
And he goes, yes, I do. And then I was like, okay.
See you in 3 hours.
Yeah. What do you need?
Yeah, you pulled it out of him.
Yeah, I
That's a
got
good
it out of
move.
him. But anyway, so yeah, so then he's like, oh, we're not fucking and stuff. And I was like, all right, well, this is what you got to do. Back tickles. Is there another 14-year-old behind me? I'm so sorry, you guys.
You're doing great.
There's just a 14-year-old tickling your back.
Yeah. She's like, I heard you like this. So I like give him some advice, whatever. And as that's happening, I look up and there's a boom mic above my head. And then I like quickly look around and there's all the cameras around us. And I was like, oh, this is going to make it or whatever. After we have the conversation, I run inside to tell Amanda and I was like, hey, like take your mic pack off or whatever. And she's like, what? And I was like, I think Kyle's trying to make you guys not fucking like a storyline. And I was like, and I just talked to him about it. And she's like, oh, whatever, I'll talk to him about it. But so then all like the last 6 months, I've been expecting to have this conversation. But what ended up happening is I don't think they wanted to introduce like this random sex podcaster.
Yeah.
So they refilmed the conversation with 2 of the other cast members, Carl and Lindsay. And Carl's like, wake her up with a boner.
Yeah.
And Lindsay's, yeah. So like,
Wow,
they
turned nice back tickles into wake her up with a boner.
wake her up with a
It's
boner.
really funny
yeah.
though, because as organic as like it happened, I feel like watching it, it would have felt so.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it could not feel forced. but
Remy, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
How's your sex podcast?
Yeah,
We're
right.
not
And
having
you're just
sex.
like
Yeah,
giving the
the
sage
sex
advice
podcast
Yeah.
and everything,
Yeah.
and then they
Introduced.
never see you again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right. They're like, what? She just blew in with chandelier earrings
Yeah.
and then blew out. You guys have to see what I'm wearing in the episode. I am caught in the back.
Yeah, you're in a couple pictures.
Yeah.
I've seen, or
Yeah.
I saw a couple pictures.
Yeah,
in a
I
couple
posted
stuff.
them.
Jack's like, I've seen you. Oh, you posted them.
Oh,
That's right, yeah.
yeah.
I've seen a lot of pictures of you on your Instagram. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yep. That's
I really wish Jack would get on one of those shows. He's got the look.
you do have the look, but
I don't. It's not for me. I'm not dramatic
Just-
enough. I feel
it's
like.
also like you have to be willing to recreate the scenes
Yeah.
and actually do acting and understand that you are making a TV show,
Right.
kind of. Like
Yeah.
a lot of them, like I'll even watch them like do their Instagram stories and they'll be like, oh, that didn't work. Do it again.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And it's just like, it's
And the
just-
thing is, like,
Redoing the Instagram.
Yeah.
I like acting, and I want to. I'm in acting school and everything, but that's
but it's
not
conflated with who you are.
Yeah, that's too. There's too many movies. I love watching it. I fucking love reality TV.
I
I
love
think it is the
reality
greatest
TV.
shit. Like
Yeah.
Vanderpump Rules
What they can do with editing.
is incredible. It's
Amazing.
incredible.
I haven't watched reality
but I don't
TV
want to be
since
on
Buck
it.
Wild.
What?
You don't remember Buck Wild? It
No.
was the follow-up to the Jersey Shore. It was just a bunch of rednecks in West Virginia. I'm pretty sure of the
Weird
original
choice.
I think of the original cast, like a good amount of them are dead now.
Oh God.
Like one of them went
vaguely
mudding and
remember
got
that.
stuck in his
Do you know what
truck.
Buck Wild I remember? There was a girl on Flavor of Love.
Yeah.
Remember Flavor of Love?
course.
And Flava Flav would always rename the women.
that was his reality
because
show.
that was a thing you could do. And he named one girl Buck Wild.
He renamed
But in
his
fairness,
women.
don't you? I think all the shows were doing it at that time because New York got her own show, and she was like, "You're tailor made," and the guy's
Right.
name was Tailor Made,
Right. And then she's like, you're 12-inch.
But the best was she did Real and Chance, and then Real and Chance kept those names and got their own show.
Yes.
It was like a
I mean, New York
weird-
kept her name too.
Yeah.
Nobody calls her Tiffany.
Right. I want
Except
a
me,
name.
out of respect. Somebody sent me a really funny clip of New York on. She was just on UK Big Brother.
Who's New York?
New York
Celebrity
was
Big-
a contestant on Flavor of Love. She was on Flavor of Love 1
So that was
and
Flavor
came
Flav
back
show.
for 2. Yes.
And
she really loved Flavor Flav.
She was on the Celebrity.
She
was
really
Flavor of
did.
Love just like a bachelor for Flavor
Yes.
Flav?
Yes.
That was it?
Yes, and then there was Rock of Love with Bret Michaels, my favorite
Oh,
show.
that was the best.
I bought the
Who was the Daisy?
Daisy of Love with Daisy De La Hoya. Yes.
Wait, what did you buy? What
Yes.
memorabilia do you have from...
No, it wasn't memorabilia. They had a Cinemax uncensored episode of Rock of Love where Brett had all the girls come over for a body painting party, and he's like, anybody whose pussy's not shaved, get in the shower and shave your cats right now. And all the girls did, and I
Yeah.
watched it with my roommates, and I was like, this is porn.
Yeah, that
It's
sounds like
so
porn.
bad.
It's great.
And it was. I also just remember being at the time being like, so what? The guy was the lead singer of Poison. They had like 2
Mm-hmm.
hits. I'm like, why is everyone so nuts about this guy? And they'd show. Didn't they do Rock of Love Bus?
Yes.
A bus?
That was
Yes.
like an RV.
It was amazing. And Brett honestly really does care about the girls. He really does. He's one of the best bachelors to do it.
Yeah.
He really cares?
He really cares.
He had some tender
How do you know
moments.
he
in the
really
He'll
cares?
make them shave their cats.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
he cares.
That sounds a bit intense, the shaving thing.
Get in and shave your cats. I'm like, what an itchy day for the
Yeah, he has
next
like a
day for all
special-
of them.
I do remember like they'd like cut to him in the confessional and be like, Daisy's just a beautiful soul.
Yeah, and then while he was like miming huge tits,
Yeah.
he'd be like, she's just such a
And then,
beautiful
like, it cuts
soul.
to him like licking the inside of someone else's mouth.
Yeah.
It was so trashy.
Yeah.
It
How
was
old was
so
he?
good. He was, well, the girls couldn't have been
Probably
older than like
mid-40s.
30.
Yeah.
And he was probably like 45 at this point.
Yeah.
45.
Yeah. 50 maybe? Because Poison was
No,
the
he's
80s.
45.
I gotta get back into reality TV.
I don't know. Yeah, no. But this is like early aughts,
These were
early
like
2000s.
These were like
Dating shows really. I can't do The Bachelor. I never got
The
into
best
it.
dating show right now, and I'm just going to say because I have a podcast about that too,
Yeah.
is Love Island. And it is a British reality show, and it is like the most interesting anthropological experiment I've ever seen.
What do they do?
It's like 5 daters from each sex. You have to couple up with somebody. You have to sleep in the same bed as them, but they all sleep in the same room, so no funny business, like no rape is going on.
right.
They don't really give them alcohol unless it's like a treat.
So just on an island.
So it's just people being honest, having conversations, being like, okay, let's see if like we work out. And if we don't work out, then like you understand that I'm going to try things on with other people. And then
Right.
like they all kind of like fall into place. And like there's just such crazy amount of different rules that people can't really like cheat the game. They'll
It's
send,
like
they'll,
Lord of the Flies plus Tinder.
yeah, but also they have an episode come out every single day while it's going on, and the editors are editing in real time, so they can
Oh,
send
shit.
in new contestants that are like, oh, I've been in love with Nas this whole season,
Yeah.
and he deserves a girl like me. And then they'll plop them in, and she'll be like, I love you, and he'll be like, I love you.
Yeah.
Oh, so they'll fly new people in?
New people all the time.
Who've already been watching the
yeah,
show?
if somebody's like they're just trying it on with a bunch of people, like usually the public will vote them out, and they're like, you just are not dateable.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
The earlier they can make these things in like the more real time, the
Yeah.
better it always
Yeah.
is. Like Celebrity Big Brother UK.
Yeah.
I think that
You even
New
going
York
into
was
other
on that
country
one.
Stuff.
I think that New York was on it with like David Bowie's ex-wife or something like
Can
that.
I tell you the funniest?
Yeah.
So somebody just told me or showed me this clip, and because I don't watch UK Big Brother,
Yeah.
I don't watch any Big Brother, but we were talking about how much we love New York,
Yeah.
and she was like, "There's a moment on UK where David Bowie's ex-wife finds out that David Bowie has died." And she confides in New York, and she goes, I don't want you to tell anyone, but David's died. New York doesn't think of David Bowie. She thinks of their housemate, David Geffen. And she's like, and she just starts screaming, what? David's dead! And she's like, oh my God, don't say anything, don't say anything. She's like, but David's dead. And the whole house starts freaking out. And then they go into the bedroom, and David's been like napping. So he's just like in bed, and everyone's like, David's dead. He wakes up, he's like, I'm not dead.
That is hysterical.
Yeah.
I watched like two episodes from that season. I'd rather watch like Vanderpump, but it is wild the shit that happens
Yeah.
on those shows.
I was
And
a
that's
big Jersey
amazing.
Shore guy for real.
My collar fell
down.
off.
Does that mean we have to take ours off in solidarity?
No. I'll put mine back on. Tell your Jersey Shore story.
I don't have any stories. That was just the only reality show that I watched was
Oh.
Jersey Shore.
It was really good. Every channel who's tried it has brought something like a different flavor to it and done it well. Because like VH1 was Rock of Love and Flavor of Love and all that, and then MTV was Jersey Shore. So it's like
Real World Road Rouge Challenge gets a lot of them to
none
hook
of
up
this could have
too.
existed without Real World. I
Right.
think that was the first one.
Yeah.
and that was wild.
That
Like
was
at the
Theo
time,
Von, right?
No, he was
Real
Road
World
Rules.
walked so the
I
challenge
want to
could
get that
run.
dude on this
Thank you.
podcast,
Yes, that's
Theo
what it
Von.
is.
He's had me blocked
Oh.
on Twitter
What?
for years, and I need to get to the
Why?
bottom of it. I don't know. It's my favorite comedy beef that I have that I don't know why it exists. Is Theo Von blocked me on Twitter like 3 years ago.
What?
And I'm not sure why. And it's still like, I'll go click on his profile and it'll be like, Theo Von blocks you.
That's hilarious.
And it's just funny to me that
Hilarious.
this is a guy who I've never met who's got so much more success than me, and I'm blocked by him. So I just want to find out why.
Sean
Why the
Spicer
Rat King?
blocked my friend.
Sean Spicer, that's a fun one.
Yeah.
Was she making fun of him for like Dancing with the Stars?
She's a journalist.
Oh,
And,
that's why. Because
I think
fake
he
news.
he had just liked her other articles and started following her or something.
Yeah.
And then he was watching her stories, and then she like made a joke of it, and then he blocked her.
I did that with Michael Avenatti. Was that the lawyer who got arrested? Trump's
Avenatti,
lawyer, yeah.
yeah.
He still follows me. Not sure why.
Nice.
It's an interesting one.
Shout out. We know you're listening, you little weird baldy.
That's all. I really just wanted to get into comedy to make famous friends and then
And
quit
you've done it.
comedy.
And
Do
you've
you know
done
my
it.
first bar show was called Our Famous Friends?
Really?
Yes, and I would just book people who are much more successful than me.
That's a good name for a show.
I know, I miss it.
Bring it back.
You should bring it back.
All right.
You probably can't. I don't know. Can you? Could you at this point? You think?
Like, I don't think the brand's still there. Like, comics remember it.
No, I know, but I mean, at this point, don't you probably? it probably wouldn't. Would you want to still do a bar show, or
I mean, I could move it.
so it wouldn't be a
Bar
bar
shows
show?
are fun.
Right,
It's fun to have the
just do a
ability to
club
book
show.
you.
Hold on, wait, no. Explain more. This isn't making sense to me. What do you mean you could move it out of a bar?
You know how Dan's old show was a bar show, and now it's a club show at the Stand Comedy Club and Restaurant?
And restaurant.
And you're thinking of doing something maybe like that.
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
It's
I don't
interesting.
know. I
I
currently.
don't know if it's good. I don't know if it's doable, but
we
all right.
should host a show where we
You're
make people
sold
eat gluten-free
out.
products.
I know. I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
I don't speak sarcasm. I'm just kidding.
Have you ever been fired? That's our other question we ask people.
No. I don't think I've ever been around anywhere long enough to get fired. And honestly, I'm a really good worker
Yeah.
when I'm on a job. A job that I left in the dust was I was working at this PR agency, and it was like fashion PR, and I was there for probably 6 weeks, and then I was like, this is not for me.
Yeah.
And my boyfriend at the time was running an internship recruiting service. So I was like, can you just replace me? And he did. So I still didn't really leave them high and
Yeah.
dry.
Okay, this is so dark, but I was just thinking, you said your boyfriend at the time. Do you ever hope that he dies so then you can know that that Ben is going to be safe forever?
No, because the person that I'm with dies.
Oh.
It does-
That's so tough.
Right?
I hate that.
I know. It's like, what's that movie, Practical Magic?
Yeah.
You know, with Sandra Bullock?
Sure.
About the witches?
No.
You don't know it?
I don't know
But
many
basically,
movies.
this family, it's Nicole Kidman and Sandra Bullock, and they have a family of witches where they're cursed that the men in their lives that they love will die. Any man that they love will die. And they like forget about it, and Sandra Bullock ends up with this great guy, and then she hears there's like a beetle of death.
No.
And then he like gets hit by like an Apple truck or something.
An
It's
Apple
very
truck?
sad.
Steve Jobs was driving it.
Yes.
Oh, solid bit, Jackie
Thank
boy.
you.
I
I
love
can retire
that.
on that one.
Where are you going to take it?
No, that's just so. I hate that. That's why I could never go to a psychic. That just scares me too much.
Yeah.
Because if I'm going to die or someone I love is going to die, I'd rather not know.
Yeah.
I mean, do you
Colleen
buy
says
into it
she's
100?
gonna kill me, so that's how I'm gonna die. My
Well, that's
girlfriend says she's
exciting.
gonna poison me. She always wanted to poison someone.
And
That's pretty
and
cool.
you're just the closest proximity.
Yeah, she said that she's always wanted to poison a boyfriend.
Okay, well, this is on record.
Yeah,
So
that's
Colleen,
honestly that's what I'm doing this for.
yeah.
She listened to an episode. She listened. She's like, I guessed which episode I thought you would be talking about me on, and I listened to it.
Wow. That's terrifying.
I used to make Ben listen to episodes of How Come before I put them out because I still have trouble speaking up in the bedroom and like
Yeah.
speaking up for myself, like in general. And so I'd like make him listen to episodes before I put them out and be like, just listen to this one for sound issues or whatever. And if like you hear any tips and things that I like,
Yeah.
also pay attention to that.
Yeah, right.
That's a benefit to dating. People love telling you when you start dating a comic that it's not a good thing, but it seems okay.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I've really.
I like it.
I see nothing but good things so far.
I feel very understood.
Yeah,
Like there's a lot of moments where I've been like, I need to quit. And Ben's like, no.
yeah,
But whereas like another person would be like, yeah, this is a very unstable job.
yeah. Like the only people who do really understand comics are comics, so
Yeah.
it makes sense. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I get why some comics don't work together
Yeah.
because it's just their own brand of crazy. But if it's two right comics, it could be a nice little thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it just comes down to the two people. It's
I
like
just
any
like
career is like that.
So
you
much
know?
riffing bits.
So much riffing bits.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Like in the bedroom too. That's fun. I've never had that in the bedroom where you could just like laugh with someone and not be too worried about it.
Uh-huh. Or like, have you ever had a night where like you're either on the same show or you're just at the show that they're at and one of you has bombed so hard and then
Yeah.
you go home laughing about the bomb, but
It makes
both
it
of
better.
you.
Yeah.
It's so nice.
We're doing a road gig next month, March together for the first time.
Oh, it's so fun.
That'll be-
Road gigs become vacation
Yeah.
when you have somebody who's with you that like you're fucking like,
Well, it's Connecticut, so not that much of a vacation. But
okay, we did one in like Atlantic City for like a week
if
where
you
we
made
were
AC
like,
a vacation, then anything's possible.
yeah, it was
it's
great.
Really, that's like really endearing because it goes from being you're alone and it's sad to like, hey, I'm here with some. Because if you love someone, any shitty place becomes fun.
Totally.
You go to the boardwalk and you end up buying like he wins you like a shitty teddy bear.
Oh my
or
God,
whatever, you
all
know
the
what
time.
I mean?
No,
Like,
I have two favorite stores on the boardwalk now, and
Yeah.
I went shopping there that week.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I like a big stuffed animal. I got her one for Valentine's Day.
Did you?
A big koala bear.
Cute.
Yeah, I almost got arrested buying it at Walmart. I think I told the story on the
What?
podcast. So
Oh, okay.
yeah,
I will say-
took the tag off when I bought it and I self-checked out. and I threw out the receipt and I threw out the tags. I was like, I don't need this, and then I walked out with it.
Stupid.
And they were like, "Do you have the receipt?" I was like, "No." And then like they grabbed me and brought me back over and like get the receipt. And I was like, "What type of criminal comes in and just gets a big koala?"
Right.
Like that's a weird thing to steal.
And just takes it.
That's
yeah.
the perfect crime.
I went to 3 different stores to find a big koala. That's how you know it's real.
Does she love koalas?
No, not really. She just calls herself a koala. She always latches onto my body.
Oh, right. She told me that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I have another gift idea.
Oh, yeah?
But this is her for you. So
Okay.
I'll tell her.
Yeah, tell her. Or
I'll
tell
tell
the
her.
podcast
Tell me.
for. If you say it on the podcast, she'll hear it and then buy it.
Yeah. No, but
earmuffs
Colleen,
then.
I've already told you this. So go out and buy that thing I told you about when we talked about koalas.
If it's weed, she's correct, Colleen.
Colleen's the worst, though, about
Yes, she is the worst.
like, I'll always be like, I smoke everybody out usually,
Yeah.
like when I'm at shows or whatever, because I like bring joints.
Same.
And Colleen comes to me sometimes and she'll be like, I brought weed. And I'm like, amazing. And then she'll just show me a giant nugget of weed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what do we do with this?
Yeah.
Like, do you have papers? Do you have a bowl? Do you have anything? And she's like, no. And I'm like, all right, then fine. We'll fucking smoke my weed again.
She didn't even have a grinder when we met. She was doing it in
Colleen.
her hand. So the first time I went to her monthly show, I was like, I'm going to get you a gift. And I just brought her a grinder. I was like, how could you be a stoner and not have a grinder?
Yeah.
They can't be more than like $10.
Yeah,
right?
when I met her at my birthday show, she was like, I brought weed because I'd never really met her before. And
Yeah.
then Riley brought her to my birthday show. And I was like, all right, cool. What are we going to smoke with? And she just opened her hand and it was
Yeah.
2 nugs.
Yeah. You're like, what do I? Cool. I'll take it home,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Do
Oh,
something there.
So much more weed being smoked. I thought
Maybe
'cause
that's
we
her
both
goal. She's
contribute.
like, just take me home with the weed.
yeah.
Then we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure it out at home.
Yeah.
Well, that's the beauty of it. You complete each other. She just brings the raw ingredients, and you make the magic happen. And that's what
It is nice having
relationship
someone
is.
to contribute wead as well. 'Cause
Yes.
It's not just my weed.
Yeah,
'Cause
with
I go
my
through a
ex,
lot of
I
weed.
felt very alone in the weed smoking, and he'd always make me feel like bad about it and like
He
super
wasn't a
lazy.
smoker?
No, but
I
he
don't
would
think
do
it could work.
cocaine and he'd do anything else, you know,
Yeah,
like
stoner and
it
a
would-
non-stoner's tough.
yeah, and it was just like, oh, like you're always high, and I'm like, yeah, but you don't realize like I do my best work high. I do all the editing for anything I ever
When
do.
you get in that high zone, when because
It's
don't get me wrong, there are
amazing.
some times where I do think being a productive stoner is very possible.
Yeah.
But when you get into like that route, where you're like, I'm actually going to do work. It is so easy to just fucking get
It's
it done.
unreal.
But then on the flip side, when you get into that, like, I'm going to watch some shows today. It's also very easy to
totally.
do that.
Well, I've also like taken an Adderall and been like, I'm gonna work today,
Yeah,
and then
I was
like
just gonna
Yeah.
say.
I get focused on like cleaning, and I'm
Yeah.
like, the house is spotless.
I was gonna say it sounds exactly like Adderall because I was prescribed that by a doctor for college, and he didn't tell me like, hey, just sit down and start studying.
You just have to
immediately.
start, yeah.
Because whatever you focus on, like you'll focus on whatever, so
Yeah.
long as it's something.
I'd
So
be like, I gotta watch all of Rock of Love now.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
you
But
just
like
do it
then the
immediately.
amphetamine would kick in, and I'd feel so like great that I'd be like scrolling through Facebook, like I need to call and tell that person I love them. I need to.
Yes.
And then I spent the rest of the night just telling people I love them.
Yes.
This is such a waste.
That's me on Molly. I tell everyone I love them. The thing I watch most when I'm stoned, though, is the Netflix screensavers, I'd say. I
Oh,
think
yeah,
once
right.
those comes on, I could watch the moving Netflix screensavers for an hour. I'll just think about what I'm going to watch until I go to bed.
I
Then
watch
don't
New York
anything.
One. You ever do that where like you
Oh
turn
my
on the
God.
TV
I
and
do that
it's
when I'm
just
on the
New
road,
York
local
One,
news.
and you get so and you're too high to change the channel, and then you watch the same news story. It's just De Blasio
Yeah.
being like coronavirus, coronavirus.
This is
You want to know you have to do when you're on the road? I do this when I do my tours. When we get back to like wherever we're staying. Hi, Hannah Burner.
Hey,
oh, Hannah Burner's here.
Former guest, Hannah Burner.
what's up, guys? Go
Coming in
away.
hot. / cold.
Go away.
Yeah.
She got more screen time than me on Summer House this week, so she can get out of the aisle. What happened in? Oh,
and there's
I know
people
what happened in the
behind us. What do you need?
bathroom.
Chicken noodles? Oh, just one?
Hearty chicken.
See, that is
Alright.
a mature woman who understands the aisle and is
Yeah.
gonna be like, I should have a conversation.
I still
now."
can't believe I turned to that person and was like, you don't need to have a conversation in the aisle. That was the rudest thing I've said in a while.
That's what you would have said on stage, right?
Fair. It would have been.
I said something. I was in Hartford, Connecticut at the Funny Bone the other
Yeah.
day, and I said something, and then some girl in the audience was like, I do that too. And I was like, oh, and I don't care about your opinion. And everybody laughed really hard, but I'm not like that where I
Yeah.
will, like, I'm not good at making fun of somebody and then
Oh,
not
really? I
then
love
feeling
that.
really bad about
You feel
it.
bad
Yeah.
about when you do it? I
Feel so-
apologize when I do it on stage.
I hugged her afterwards,
Yeah.
and then she tweeted. She was like, "Tonight, Remy Kassimir made fun of me on stage, and then hugged me afterwards. Aftercare is important."
yeah.
Yeah.
So
and I was like, "Yes."
when I do like long sets and I do crowd work, when I get off stage, if I'm the headliner, I will go up to whoever I was fucking with most, shake their hand, give them like a little hug,
Yeah.
just because I don't want anyone to ever think.
Yeah,
unless
yeah,
it
yeah.
is for real, then I will let them think it.
But
Yeah.
you know what? It's funny that like if you're like the three of us, I feel like are three very sensitive people.
We are very sensitive.
So we hold on to these things. Like I one time years ago, I said something to someone that I regretted. I was like mean to them, and it wasn't even in comedy. And then like years went by, and it just was in my head, and I was like, I need to make things right. And I finally saw this person, and I apologized, and they were like, I don't know what you're talking about.
So
I don't
funny.
remember that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, people don't hold
I
on
apologize
to
to the
shit
kid
like
I bullied growing up, and he remembered.
Yeah.
That's good.
That is nice though.
He's now like a big time scientist, lives in an apartment in Manhattan. I was like, so it worked, my bullying.
Hell
yeah,
It
and he could
succeeded.
poison you, but Colleen's
He could
gonna get you
definitely-
first.
Yeah, right.
Colleen could poison the weed. That's an easy way to take me out.
Wouldn't it be horrible?
Yeah, but
if
then
Colleen,
she'd smoke
like,
it too and
Fair.
die.
Colleen's the type of
poisons
person
you.
who would infect something, poison it, and forget she
And
did
she'd
it,
be
and
like,
take it
oh,
herself.
fuck.
Yep.
Yeah.
She got on
Imagining,
stage and
like-
they chipped her tooth on the mic.
Some night, like you and Ben somehow end up smoking a joint together, and it's like the one that's laced, and it turns out Colleen is the one. who
Colleen
gets
kills
everything.
Ben.
Colleen
Yeah.
kills. It's full circle.
Perfect. That's
Oh
kind of
my
like that would be.
God.
That's the rom-com we should write.
Yeah.
Folks.
It's just called Colleen Kills Ben.
We got to bring Colleen on for an episode, and you have to pick my relationship apart.
I have nothing to pick apart. You guys.
What
are
was-
great.
I was saying, the local radio. This is what you got to do on the road when it comes to local TV.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Anytime I get back to the hotel room or the condo, I put on the local channel to whatever city we're in, and I'll tweet at the anchors or the weatherman until I notice that they're starting to get pissed off by my tweets on the TV show, because no one's really tweeting at the Huntsville, Alabama weatherman at 1 a.m. So we were at the Huntsville condo for Stand Up Live, and I was tweeting at him because he kept saying it was a record heat high. And I was just making bits at him online, and then eventually he gets back on. He's like, "Yeah, it's a record heat wave. Why do you guys care so much?" And like, he was actually getting aggravated by all the tweets we were sending him. And like, I still have people who follow me who's like Detroit meteorologist, and like, I'll tweet at them until they answer.
Yeah.
That's great.
It makes the local news that much better because no one's actually watching at 1 a.m. in Alabama.
Absolutely not.
You like
Local
go
TV is
home,
interesting,
goes home, has a breakdown. It's all your fault.
Yeah. No, I think I definitely ruined the weatherman.
Quits the news.
Yeah.
We have to think if you're doing that, then that means 70% of his listenership is fucking with him. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't
Yeah.
know how many of them are comedians in a comedy condo who are like, I have nothing else to do.
that's true.
I will say comedy condos are the worst on the road, but Stand Up Live in Huntsville, Alabama has a 5-bedroom house and it makes no sense. It's very beautiful.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's very cool. Some condos are disgusting. There's a shitty club in Virginia called what's it called? Kazi's, and you stay in the waitress's grandma's house and it's decorated with like dolls.
Jesus.
That's
oh my
incredible.
God.
The month before I was there, a guy, the headliner, died in the bedroom. And when she was walking me there, she's like, "You have the bedroom where the guy died in." And I was like,
boy.
that's
I
funny.
live in a bedroom where a guy died.
How did he die?
He was my grandfather, and
Oh,
he was
wow.
dizzy and fell on the floor.
That's even more personal that your grandfather died in your room.
Yeah, it was my grandfather. And my grandmother recently died, and I lived with her. So
So a lot
now
of death.
I got a lot of ghosts at my
a
house,
lot going
but they
on
keep
over
me
there.
company.
Yeah.
My last name means the death. That's the most I could relate to. Then.
Yes, it does.
The
Do you know
death.
in French they call orgasms le petit mort, the little death?
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like for a second you die.
I used to have a baseball coach. who
Now
called
you
me
are le petit mort. You've lost so much weight.
Le Petit Mort.
You are an organ.
I'm
Now
in
you're an
the
orgasm.
The 100s. I posted about it, and the thing that pissed me off was I had a relative who was like, "Oh, that's great, but now's the hard part, keeping it off."
Oh yeah.
And I was like, "No, the
Yeah,
hard
yeah.
part's losing it." Like, how rude would that? Because he had a brain tumor. How rude would that be if I did that to him?
Yeah, the hard part's
Yeah.
not growing it back.
Congrats on getting the brain tumor off, but the hard part is keeping it off. Yeah, it's the ones is a fun number to see that. I kind of got a little chubby when I saw it.
Oh, yeah. And then that brought you over back to 2. Wouldn't that have been great if
I
he's standing
really-
on the scale and then he gets a little excited?
Little
You know what
boner.
it
It
was,
goes over
man?
to 2.
I think I don't want to like be the guy who put. I was running so much and the weight wasn't moving, and then once me and Colleen started dating and the sex
It's all
life got
that
that much
raw
more active.
banging.
It-
Stop
the
raw
pounds were coming
banging.
Raw banging.
Stop it.
When you start, it's
That's the
hard
third
to change.
rom-com. Raw banging. It's just knocked up. That's
Yeah,
just
right.
yeah.
Can you get a season pass for Planned Parenthood?
You should.
Like,
You
like
should.
Great Adventure.
Yeah.
Just like instead of having
A
to
fast
pay each
pass,
time. Yeah,
too.
yeah, you
That's
get like
the name
the
of the
Disney
movie.
fast
You
pass.
again.
Yeah.
I'm coming in at 9:30 for the abortion.
It's like, oh, we only got 46 hours.
Did you ever used to do that? Pretend to have an injury at a theme park so you could get the fast pass?
No.
Oh, we used to do that in Great Adventure. If you just had an asthma inhaler, you'd be like, I have asthma, and they'd let you go to the front of the line.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, we have
Hannah-
collars on.
Hannah, we're all wearing one.
What, the
Oh, all right.
collars?
Well,
It's
I
okay.
don't know. We should probably we can wrap up.
Oh, yeah,
soon.
it's at an hour.
So we'll wrap up soon. Remy, thank you for being here. Is there anything
Thanks
you
so
want to
much.
plug?
Yeah, listen to my podcast, How Come. You can follow it on Instagram and Twitter, How Come Podcast. I have that other podcast, We Really Love Island. Watch Love Island, and then you listen to the episodes, and I recap them, and I teach you British slang with my other American comedian friends. And if you want to come see me, please do that. All my dates are at remykassimir.com. Better to follow me on Instagram because I post more real-time shit. And I have a weekly show if you're in New York and you like brunch. And I think you do.
Hell yeah.
Come to the stand every Sunday, 3 p.m. for Bacon Bits. It is the best comics in the city, and you get free bacon with your ticket. And I
Can't really
smoke
beat
everyone
free
out
bacon.
after.
And weed.
Yeah.
Weed, bacon,
Yeah.
and comedy.
Yeah.
Love that.
You would think I'm not doing well because of all the things I give away, but I'm just nice.
You're
are
just
just
nice. Giving away weed is tough, though.
Yeah.
Because you're like, this could be a high later.
And now with the corona, it's like, ooh.
Yeah, and I feel like it's going to come. It seems like it's going to be here.
I'm telling you, I think I have it.
Well, we all do now.
Don't use these mics ever again.
Going to Windex them.
No, we will. We
Okay,
will.
okay.
We'll just say it's Remy's fault. I don't know. That's like, to me, that's enough.
Yeah.
You have anything to plug, Jack?
No, that's it. That's it for me. Yeah, all the usual. Isle Boys, Jack_Byram, blah, blah, blah.
If you live in Connecticut, March 28th, see me and the name that's been mentioned a lot on this podcast, Colleen Genevieve, in, what is it? Oh, it's a new comedy club. The Basement Comedy Club, I think it's called, in South Norwalk, Connecticut. March 28th, 8 o'clock. I know that much. Get your tickets online.
Sounds fun.
And I'm
Alright.
Dan Lamort. That's me.
Alrighty, guys.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Thanks, Jared Bowling for Soup.
We hope you laughed and you didn't cry. We hope you enjoyed your turkey on rye.